Hello everyone. Are you a foreign worker and would like to work in Canada? If yes, you might have heard about LMIA. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is LMIA and why it is important to apply for the work permit. So let's discuss in detail how you can apply for the work permit in Canada with the supporting LMIA. Hello everyone, welcome to Rise in Sky Immigration. This is Vanshika Tilwani. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and in this video we are going to talk about LMIA. LMIA stands for Labor Market Impact Assessment. It is a document which is usually issued by Canadian government based on the analysis that the employment opportunity which employer is hiring from outside Canada or foreign worker that has a neutral impact on the Canadian labor market. Employer has to make sure that they have to go through this process and they have to hire the Canadian citizen and PR first. If they won't able to hire the Canadian citizen and PR due to any of the reason, they can apply for this particular LMIA application to ESDC. Now, what is ESDC? ESDC, the full form of ESDC is Employment and Social Development of Canada. It is an organization who analyze the application of LMIA. So next we will be discussing the process of LMIA and how the employer is eligible under this particular process. What are the steps they have to follow before applying for the LMIA application. So next we are going to be discussing about the process of LMIA. Any employer, as you already know, who wants to hire a foreign worker has to have a positive LMIA to apply for the work permit for the foreign national. So the employer has to advertise their posting in 3 different platforms or 3 different job portals to apply for it. If from those job posting employer wouldn't able to find the right candidate who is a Canadian citizen or PR, and if they won't able to find the right candidate, then they can apply for the LMIA application to ESDC. In this particular advertisement, Job Bank is the mandatory portal where the advertisement need to be posted. If in any scenario, as I said, they won't able to find the right candidate, they can apply for the LMIA application. So to the ESDC. ESDC stands for Employment and Social Development of Canada. They assess this particular application, they assess the eligibility of employer, they assess the eligibility of the work permit holder, which is the applicant or the foreign worker employee. So they assess the eligibility of everything based on the wage, working conditions, employer documents, the skill set of the candidate. They issue a positive or negative LMIA based on the impact on the Canadian labor market. So this is the whole process of LMIA, where employer has to request ESDC with the applicable government fee and other supporting documents, and the ESDC will analyze the document and give the LMIA document with the positive or negative decision. So next step is to apply for the work permit. Based on the positive LMIA, the employer can now offer the job to the foreign national, and the foreign national with the help of with the supporting documents of LMIA can apply for the work permit application to IRCC, and once that work permit is approved, they can come and they can start working in Canada. Make sure that you have your general IELTS requirements or English proficiency ready to apply for the work permit, because that's a mandatory requirement if you are applying from outside Canada. If you are within Canada and you are converting your visitor into work permit, then that particular IELTS requirement is waived off, because then you can simply go to the border and the visa officer can analyze your proficiency at the time of interview. Or within Canada for the next 2 years, as I already made this video. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out. I have provided the description in that. I have provided the link in the description box, so you can go and check that out. Right? And in that case, the IELTS requirement is not mandatory. It's been waived off for next 2 years, because that particular public policy is also announced by Immigration Minister recently. If if your work permit application is not supported by LMIA, there are certain exemptions where people or candidate can apply for work permit without LMIA as well. I'm going to be discussing those exemptions as well within this video. So next will be what are the exemptions and what are the situations where we don't need an LMIA to apply for the work permit application. So next we are going to be discussing what are the situations where applicant is exempt from LMIA. There is a IMP program, which is International Mobility Program, where the candidate can apply for the work permit without LMIA. What are those situations? For example, if candidate had studied in Canada and applying for PGWP, that's also part of IMP. If the candidate is on study permit and the spouse of that particular study permit holder is applying for the open work permit, that is also LMIA exempt. If somebody is applying for the intra-company transfer, that particular work permit is also LMIA exempt work permits. Also, there are certain trade agreements between different countries and Canada where people from Canada can work in those countries and those countries candidate can work in Canada. So those trade agreements also exempt certain candidates from applying for the LMIA and directly they can apply for the work permit application. I have made video in that particular with the IEC. Right, I will share that in the description box. You can go and check it out, that video as well. What are the international trade agreements or which countries are eligible for the trade agreements where people can apply for the work permit application without LMIA. So this is the whole process of LMIA and work permit application. If you have any question with regards to Canadian immigration, you can reach out to us. My number is given on the screen. You can book my appointment as well. And yes, if you like this particular video, please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video.